She's a bureaucrat by day and a laughacrat by night. She has a framed photograph of Abe Vigoda in her house. I'm surprised that she has a framed picture of Abe Vigoda because I love him, and she's surprised that I know who that is. Her birthday was a few weeks ago, and her partner organized a surprise birthday party on the Portland Spirit. I kind of showed up a little bit too early and was just like, hey, what are you guys doing here? And she was like, oh, that's weird that you're here. And I was like, it's just the first day of spring break. I just decided to ride this boat by myself. And she bought it, you guys. I love that I live the kind of life that makes this person feel that I would just go on a boat just on a Saturday night by myself, just not a care in the world. It's my favorite part. She's that's what she said, resident safety daddy. Everybody give it up for Brooks.
Hate to break it to you, Katie. I knew why you were there. All right. Who else here considers their pet their primary partner? Right? Guilty. I have a dog, Duchess. I want to do whatever I can to protect her and make her okay in the world. And recently she was sick. She was vomiting all day. She was like, oh. So I took her to the vet to see what the fuck was up. And when we got there, the vet entered the room, and I felt good about her. She was like a senior dyke with like broad shoulders and a severe set of bangs and a husky voice. But then very quickly, she got creepy. First, she started talking about her own bouts with diarrhea. Well, I lost about half my body weight with my evacuations, and I had to get taken to the hospital. You can die from this. I didn't need to hear that, and neither did Duchess. So then she wanted to see if Duchess would eat. So she opened up a can of dog food and put it in front of her. No go. And then she insisted that Duchess needed a rectal exam. And later I was like, did she? Did she? Because then she heads towards my sweet dog's behind and says, good thing I bought her dinner first. Boo. Boo. Good thing Duchess was very nonplussed by this. She saves her rage and fear for things like hardwood floors and heating vents. She's got issues, lots and lots of issues. And I really want to get in her head. It's something I wanted to know. What is going on in there? So I did what any other like-minded person in my situation would do, which is I hired a pet psychic. I found her in the newspaper. We'll call her Gidget. And I sent her an email, and she wrote me back and asked for 2 photos of Duchess with one caveat. They needed to show her eyes. So I was careful about how I picked these photos. I didn't want to have a tell and give anything too much away. So I sent like one picture where Duchess is really docile and sweet, and the other where she's like frantic and running around. If she could really talk to Duchess, she would figure it out. So we set up this date to talk. My sweetie Jen came over. Boy, she was rolly-eyed about this whole thing from the beginning. She was not buying it. I was agnostic. I thought, well, if she can talk to Duchess, great. If not, so be it. So the time comes, we get Gidget on the phone, and she's this chatty, nice lady, and she lets us know how it's all going to go down. And she's like, I communicate with animals in a multi-sensate way. Multi-sensate. That sounds like what happens when I eat an edible and then throw down a few Long Island iced teas. Okay. Let's do this. And then she lets us know that she is going to hang up with us and call Duchess now. Like she has this rotary psychic phone that she's going to reach out to Duchess with. I mean, maybe Duchess wanted some text messages. She is a millennial after all. After a little bit of time, she comes back, and then she says, the first thing she wants me to know, that Duchess says that she loves the smell of Jen and some laundry detergent. And I was like, that's awesome. I also enjoy the smell of Jen. But then I was kind of like, well, I've smelled worse. Okay, but what about me? What about me? Well, apparently Duchess thinks I need to be more grounded. And next thing I know, the pet psychic is lecturing me about yoga and meditation and self-care. And I'm like, I don't need this from you, bitch. I get this all the time from everyone else. And second of all, I don't need it from Duchess. Who is she to talk? But, what I really wanted to get to, the main reason I ordered this pet psychic to connect with my dog is that every night she barks at the same 2 spots. There's nothing there. It's in the house. She's just barking, looking as if she's seen something. I wanted to get to the heart of this. So Gidget lets me know that she can talk to Duchess about it, and this is what Duchess said. Duchess said that she sees a big black dog with bloodshot eyes in that spot every night. And this dog is not a ghost. No, it's an image from another dimension. It's from a time burrito. She said time burrito, and what I could guess from that is that it's this kind of, if Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure kind of met the Matrix, and then Keanu was like, red pill, excellent. Then I just said, all right, fine. Can you just tell Duchess not to bark at the time burrito? Can you do that? And she said, I'll try. Now, here's the thing. The reason I didn't believe that she actually connected with Duchess, because if she actually talked to Duchess, don't you think this dog would have some questions for her about me? I mean, don't you think she would ask things like, how come I only get to sleep in the big bed when she has big water drops coming out of her eyes? Or don't you, wouldn't she ask about things like, why do I hear shouting noises from the bedroom, but they're not mad shouting noises, and they only happen when Jen's there? And don't you think she would ask about how, because I have a mortal fear of public restrooms, and sometimes I hold it in so much, I rush home, take her out in the backyard, and we pee next to each other. Wouldn't she ask about that? I mean, wouldn't she say, Brooks, how do you pick your spots? And I would say, Duchess, you just know. You just know. Now, I understand that this topic may be one that leaves a lot of questions for folks. So I am going to take 3 questions from the audience about pet psychics and hiring them. So let's see. Katie, are you out there? Okay. What happened to the wireless mic? Okay. The mic is coming. So think of your questions and then raise your hand. Who took it away?
Let's stall by thinking about what a time burrito is.
Yeah. What would be the fillings? Carne asada. Some sour cream in there. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's...
Is it on? Ooh, it's on. All right,
Yes.
Who's got a question?
Okay. Who has questions about pet psychics?
Anybody? This is your open source if you've been thinking about doing it.
Here we go.
Did Duchess say anything about food?
Nope, nothing about food. You think she would say, right? She'd say, I want an upgrade. I want an upgrade. Why do you get to eat the good food and I don't?
Did Duchess stop barking at the spots?
She did a little bit, but then it's been back at it.
It happened all at rehearsal last week.
Yeah. Yep. Yes. Katie actually saw it.
Oh,
at
you
my
guys
house.
raised your hands at the same time.
4
Okay,
questions.
4 questions. Let's do it.
I want to know about your decision-making process. How did you narrow down from the wide breadth of psychics that you could have chosen from? What drove it in on this psychic?
I actually picked this person because a friend of mine had used her, and the friend of mine had said, oh, I used this person. My cat was just pooping outside of the litter box. She talked to my cat. Never happened again. I was like, sounds great. But then that was like a year ago. And then I saw my friend that night, and I said, guess what? I used Gidget. And she's like, did Gidget ask you about the right molar? And I'm like, what? And she's like, oh, well, all the people I recommended to Gidget, she told them that their animal had a bad right molar. I was like, thanks for that update. Just in time. Appreciate it.
What is the hourly rate of a pet psychic?
Yeah, well, hopefully I'll be able to write it off for my comedy, but it was $150.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Comedy is expensive.
Yeah, so is a dog barking every night.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's it. Thank you, everybody.